Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to At Your Faith in God. Today, we're diving into the most terrifying stories from the Book of Apocalypse. Get ready to be amazed and terrified. We're talking plagues, beasts, epic battles, the whole shebang. This is some real end-of-the-world stuff, and trust me, you do not want to miss this. We're gonna break down the 5 most insane stories from the Book of Revelation, and maybe give away some Bibles along the way, who knows? Make sure you're subscribed and you've smashed that like button, because when we hit 1 million subscribers, we're giving one of you guys a trip to, well, you'll have to watch to find out. Okay, first up, we got the Four Horsemen. These guys are not your average riders. They're the stuff of legends and nightmares. Picture this: 4 dudes on horseback, each one representing a different flavor of apocalypse. They're not just here for a casual ride, they're here to bring about the end of the world as we know it. First, you got the white horse, ridden by a figure wielding a bow. This guy represents conquest, and he's here to conquer everything. Imagine a force so powerful it sweeps across nations, toppling empires and leaving a trail of domination in its wake. Next up, the red horse. This one's all about war, straight up. Bloodshed, violence, the whole 9 yards. Think of the most brutal battles in history, and multiply that by like 1,000. This horseman thrives in chaos, feeding off the carnage and destruction. Then comes the black horse, ridden by a figure holding a pair of scales. This dude represents famine. We're talking crops failing, food shortages, people fighting over scraps. It's gonna be rough. Imagine a world where every meal is a struggle and survival is a daily battle. And last, but definitely not least, we got the pale horse. This one's ridden by death himself, and let me tell you, he is not messing around. He's bringing plague, pestilence, and all sorts of nasty ways to die. Picture a world where disease runs rampant, and no one is safe from its grasp. These 4 horsemen are like the ultimate harbingers of doom, and when they show up, you know things are about to get real. They symbolize the end of times, each bringing their own brand of chaos and destruction. Together, they paint a picture of an apocalyptic future that's as terrifying as it is inevitable. So, when you see these guys riding in, you better brace yourself, because the end is nigh. So, we got these 7 seals, right? Each one is like a ticking time bomb, waiting to unleash a new wave of chaos on the world. Each seal, when broken, brings forth a new level of catastrophe, escalating the turmoil and suffering on Earth. It's like opening a Pandora's box of biblical proportions, where each seal reveals a new horror, more terrifying than the last. The first seal breaks, and boom! Out pops the Antichrist, ready to deceive the world with false promises and sweet talk. This figure is a master of manipulation, charming the masses with lies and deceit. This guy's bad news, trust me. He brings a false sense of peace, but it's all a facade, hiding his true intentions. Second seal cracks open, and it's wartime, baby. But this isn't just any war. It's a conflict that engulfs the entire globe. We're not talking about your average run-of-the-mill war. This is a global conflict, the likes of which the world has never seen. Nations rise against nations, and the devastation is unimaginable. This war brings unprecedented destruction, with battles raging on every continent, leaving no place untouched by its horrors. Third seal pops, and guess what? Famine. The war has ravaged the land, and now food is scarce. Prices skyrocketing, people starving in the streets. The scarcity of resources leads to widespread hunger and desperation. It's gonna make the Great Depression look like a walk in the park. The economic collapse is severe, and the struggle for survival is real. Fourth seal breaks, and it's death's turn to shine. But this time, he's not alone. He's brought some friends, plague and wild beasts, all ready to wreak havoc on humanity. Disease spreads rapidly, and wild animals become a threat as they encroach on human territories. Fifth seal opens, and things get really wild. The souls of martyrs cry out for justice, their voices echoing through the heavens. We're talking martyrs crying out for justice, divine retribution raining down from the heavens. It's intense. The cries for vengeance are answered with divine wrath, shaking the very foundations of the earth. Sixth seal cracks, and the whole world starts to shake. Natural disasters strike with unprecedented fury. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, you name it, it's happening. The planet is in turmoil, reacting violently to the breaking of the seals. It's like the planet itself is freaking out. The ground splits open, mountains crumble, and the seas rage. And finally, the seventh seal. This one's a real doozy, the culmination of all the chaos and destruction. Silence falls over the earth, and then, well, let's just say you don't want to be around when that last seal breaks. The anticipation is palpable, and the final judgment is about to be unleashed. The silence is deafening, a calm before the ultimate storm. The final seal brings an end to the chaos, but at what cost? The world will never be the same again. Okay, imagine the ugliest, most terrifying creature you've ever seen in a movie. Now, multiply that by 1,000, and you might be getting close to the beast from the sea. This thing rises up out of the ocean, and let me tell you, it is not here to make friends. It's got 7 heads, 10 horns, and a body covered in blasphemous names. It's like a walking nightmare, and it's hungry for power. The beast is all about deception and destruction. It performs miracles, deceives the masses, and sets itself up as a god. And the worst part? People actually worship this thing. This beast is a symbol of everything evil and corrupt in the world. It represents the forces of darkness, and it's here to drag humanity down with it. Trust me, you do not want to be on this thing's bad side. All right, buckle up, because things are about to get epic. We're talking about the Battle of Armageddon, the ultimate showdown between good and evil. This is it, the big one, the final battle for the fate of humanity. Imagine armies from every nation, clashing on a battlefield soaked in blood. The forces of good, led by Jesus himself, versus the armies of evil, commanded by the Antichrist and the Beast. It's a battle for the ages, a fight to the death, and the stakes have never been higher. We're talking swords clashing, arrows flying, fire raining down from the sky. It's a scene of unimaginable chaos and destruction, a battle that will determine the destiny of all mankind. But in the end, only one side can emerge victorious. And let me tell you, you definitely want to be on the winning team when the dust settles. The battle is over, the dust has settled, and now it's Judgment Day. The echoes of war still linger in the air, a haunting reminder of the chaos that once reigned. The ground is scarred, the sky is dark, and the silence is deafening. This is the end of an era, the final chapter in a story written in blood and tears. Every soul that has ever lived is gathered before the throne of God, ready to face their final reckoning. The multitude stretches as far as the eye can see, a sea of faces filled with anticipation, fear, and hope. Each person stands with bated breath, waiting for their name to be called, their fate to be revealed. This is it, the moment of truth. The clock strikes midnight, and time stands still. Hearts race, palms sweat, and the weight of a lifetime's worth of choices presses down on every soul. The spotlight is on you, and there's no turning back. Every deed, every thought, every secret is laid bare before the eyes of the Almighty. The books of life are opened, and the truth is revealed in the divine light. There is no hiding from the past, no escaping the consequences of one's actions. The fear is palpable, the tension unbearable. There's nowhere to hide, no excuses to make. The walls close in, and the spotlight grows brighter. Every lie, every betrayal, every sin is exposed. The feeling of being trapped is overwhelming, and the reality of judgment is inescapable. It's just you and your conscience, standing before the judge of all creation. The divine figure looms large, a beacon of justice and truth. The weight of your actions bears down on you, and the silence is deafening. This is the ultimate test of character, the final examination of your soul. The righteous are welcomed into eternal paradise, a place of unimaginable beauty and joy. The gates of heaven open wide, and the faithful are greeted with open arms. The air is filled with the sound of laughter and music, and the landscape is a vision of perfection. But the wicked? They're cast into the lake of fire, a place of eternal torment and suffering. The flames roar, the heat is unbearable, and the cries of the damned echo through the infernal landscape. It's a fate worse than death, a punishment that never ends. It's the ultimate fate worse than death, and let me tell you, you do not want to end up there. The horror is unimaginable, the fear is all-consuming. The reality of eternal damnation is a nightmare from which there is no escape. This is the terrifying reality of the final judgment. The scales of justice are balanced, and the verdict is delivered. The apocalyptic vision is a stark reminder of the consequences of our actions, the ultimate reckoning that awaits us all. It's a reminder that our actions have consequences, and that we will all one day be held accountable for the choices we make. The scales tip, the hourglass runs out, and the final judgment is rendered. Every decision, every action, every moment of our lives leads to this point. So choose wisely, my friends. The path you take today will determine your fate tomorrow. The choices you make now will echo through eternity. Stand at the crossroads, look within, and decide the kind of person you want to be. Your fate is in your hands. And that's a wrap on the top 5 terrifying stories from the Book of Revelation. I told you it was going to be intense. Did you guys like the fire effects? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content from @YourFaithingGod. Stay blessed. And hey, if we hit 10 million views on this video, we're gonna rebuild the city of Jericho in Minecraft. So share this video with everyone you know. Peace out.